Hi, this is Deborah Anderson Singleton with SureVantage Marketing Group. Welcome to video number 2 in our training on book publishing and marketing. In this video, we will cover how to write chapter topics, how to format your subtopics, excuse me, and we will give you some tips on editing your content. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Well, your research is done and you've already gathered your relevant facts. You've seen what others have had to say, and you've found what matters to you most. Now, the next step is really getting prepared for outlining your book. And that's going to help shape your information that you gathered during your research process, and you're going to craft your content and message to have your voice. And it's going to help you also to develop your topics. Okay. Now, step 1 is one of the most exciting parts of this. Now that you've done your research, is writing your chapter topics. Now, what you're going to do is, most people think about how many chapters they want to write, and most people write between 5 or 7 or even 12 chapters. Find how many chapters that you want to write, and for each chapter that you want to write, take out one sheet of paper, all right, and write down an important topic that you think needs to be covered in the book. For example, in my book, The Dream Sponsor, one of my chapter topics was, how do I know if my event is sponsorable? Okay, and once you've written down each one of those topics for the chapter ideas you want to have, whether it's 5, 7, or 12, you will then, on that sheet of paper, write down any ideas that you would brainstorm on. Okay, topics that would be relevant, that you would think that would go under that topic. So for example, with mine, it would have been, how do I know if my event is sponsorable? Okay, what is a sponsorable event? Characteristics of an event that can be sponsored, do's and don'ts when approaching sponsors, that sort of thing. So you look at all the different things that you can write about within that chapter topic, and those things help you to develop your subtopic ideas. Okay, and it also helps you create relationships between those ideas, and before you know it, you'll have a flow of information that begins to flood out of you, and you'll build a momentum. I love when that happens. You start gathering lots of fresh new content from information that you've learned in your whole process, and you even remember some things back from your own experiences that will help build the content even more. So another tip that I have for you is to think about 5 to 10 most frequently asked questions about that specific topic, and explain those answers out. So whatever those 5 to 10 most frequently asked questions that may be for your specific topic, just answer those questions for each page, and that'll help you also develop content. Okay. Step 2 is to bring some clarity, to make sure that you clarify exactly what you're talking about, and make sure that it's not topsy-turvy. Make sure that it, makes sense. You want to share what makes sense to your reader. You want to share relevant information, any data from your research, and if you do get data from your research, you want to give proper credit. Okay. Now, the next step number 3, is revising all of that information. Look at what can be deleted. Is your information strong enough? Think about some things that are not really clear when you're, thinking about your topic or reading over your topic. And also make sure that the questions that you may have had or a reader may have, that you're answering those questions properly. Okay. Now, step 4 is, we're going to put everything in order. It's like a little roadmap to the book, and you're going to place every topic that you've talked about, those 5 chapter pieces, and you're going to make sure that even the subtopics and ideas flow in a sequential order that makes sense to the reader. That's easy. And you also want to make sure you simplify your message and you don't make it too hard. Remove any unnecessary things that should not be there, like technical jargon or things that are just so wordy. Okay, some additional tips. One of my trainers and mentors, Brian Tracy, shared this with me, and I used it with my recent book, and it was really, really helpful for me. Record yourself explaining each chapter out loud. Just take a digital recorder and act like you're talking to a friend, somebody that is close to you, a family member, or a relative, and speak as though you're speaking to them. Always make sure that you make it personal by including pronouns like you, so that it could be speaking directly to the reader. And again, make sure you write simply and not using industry jargon or terminology. Keeping it simple makes it also relevant to the reader. Alrighty? Now the hard part is over. Once you complete these steps, the hard part is really over. And in our next video, I'm going to show you how you can take all the information that you've done, all the things that you've done over the past couple of days, and we can now begin editing the book. How it can be edited and formatted for you at the click of a button, and how we actually put together the publishing and marketing components for you to make it easy. Hope this has served you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
SureVantage Marketing Group, the vantage point you need to dominate your market.